Otto again faced controversy when he tackled a huge novel called Sundown. It's about race relations in the South. In the uncertain days after World War II, 20 years after the war, the South was in turmoil, this time over the civil rights movement. Marches, demonstrations, sit-ins, boycotts, and violence rocked the South and made international headlines. Like a general eager for battle, Otto led his troops deep into the heart of Dixie. He assembled an impressive interracial cast: Michael Caine, Jane Fonda, Diane Carroll, Robert Hooks, and a promising young actress named Faye Dunaway. The filming had, as one might expect, its moments.
I knew Otto by reputation as a filmmaker and being in the industry by personality. And he was the sort of director who was a great filmmaker, but you were dead scared one day he was going to ask you to do the part and you'd have to do it. And that's what happened to me. He had seen, I made a film called Alfie, and he'd seen that. And then he cast me in a picture called Sundown, where I played a Southerner, actually. It took place in the southern states. Anyway, it was so fascinating to me to go to the South. I'd only been to America once. I'd made a picture there called Gambit with Shirley MacLaine, and then they said, will you work for Otto Preminger? And I took a deep breath and a hard swallow and said, yeah, all right. But one of the things was, the first day on the set, he started screaming at someone. And I said, I hope you don't ever do that to me. And he saw a little glint in my eye, and he looked at me and he said, I would never shout at Elfie. So from then on, we were fine. But he had I was told he would choose a whipping boy, watch. And it may be a girl, and it was Faye Dunaway. My favourite moment in Sundown was we were doing a scene, I was doing a scene with Jane Fonda in the hospital, and it was a very, very hot day, and they switched on the lights, and the lights started the sprinkler system in the hospital. And Otto went purple and was so angry his voice wouldn't come. I've never seen it. His eyes were almost popping out of his head. And then I looked at him, and we were just gradually getting drenched, you know. And then he started to laugh. And I'd never heard him laugh out loud. He just started to laugh because it was so ridiculous.
Now listen.
No. You listen. The doctor just told me there's still a chance the coma can be cured. So, as soon as he's fit to travel, I'm going to take him to the Menninger Clinic in Topeka. And if they can't help him, I'm going to keep going until he's well. Or until there aren't any more specialists to see.
We ain't got the money for that. Now that you've handed that place to Reeve on a silver platter, the whole deal with Riverside will fall through, including my job.
I'm going to put the house on the market, and I'll sell my land to the first bidder.
Where we gonna live?
We aren't going to live anywhere.
But we're married.
For the moment.
I remember I went down there and spent several days on location, and it's hard to believe now that there would be such resentments and such hatreds, such resentment over the fact that Otto was there filming this story, and well, there was all sorts of stories about Diane Carroll being barred from the motel, and no one would do her laundry, and the drivers, you know, the police drivers, well, I heard some pretty awful things said by them. And then, of course, there were attempts to sabotage the film when it was sent back, you know, to be printed to LA, and all kinds of things which the Ku Klux Klan were supposed to have been behind, and they were all very real.
I remember Otto was called up because he was making a picture with black people and white people together. And we were all in the same hotel, and when some of the black people went swimming in the pool, they threw dynamite in it at night to blow it up and things like that. All sorts of strange things went on. And then there was this sort of legendary moment that I wasn't a witness to when Otto had been called before the legislature there for causing uproar, you know, and he was asked about his attitude towards black people. And he said exactly the same as Mr. Kennedy, the President of the United States. You want to go against that? And that was really a courageous thing for him to do, because we weren't very welcome down there. We were known as the nigger picture, and it was very uncomfortable.